Right now, a proposal for the redevelopment of downtown Sun Prairie impacted by the explosion last summer. We'll tell you what it includes. A new video tonight shows the moment of a shooting earlier this year on Raymond Road as the DA clears the officers involved. And later, a new bipartisan proposal at the Capitol to do away of sales tax on certain hygiene products.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
Thanks for joining us tonight. More than 1 year after the Sun Prairie explosion, the city is looking at new ways to redevelop the land at the corner of Main and Bristol streets that now sits empty. Gabriella Becerra joins us with some of the ideas the community would like to see built in those lots. Gabby?
This was the scene on July 10th, 2018. Now, more than 17 months later, the city is working with a consulting group, property owners, and residents to find a plan that fits everyone's wants and needs. Together, they came up with possible concepts that could transform those spaces to fit into the aesthetic of downtown Sun Prairie.
The concept plan to build Sun Prairie stronger is still in a primary phase. The vision, multi-use space for residential and entertainment, all while matching the look of the buildings that came before it.
You'd want that classic look and would expect that they would be predominantly residential with some retail on the first floor, but again, light retail and restaurant oriented.
Other possible concepts include turning Lane Street into a festival street.
Meaning that you would do special overhead lighting and maybe special pavers on the street and lighting that gives it the sense that it's not just an ordinary pedestrian car street, but it's one that's intended to move people.
The idea of having a place to hold activities is exciting to the community.
I think that a festival space would be fantastic to bring in a lot of foot traffic and to liven up downtown Sun Prairie.
With possible redevelopment, Mayor Paul Esser thinks the gap that separates Madison from Sun Prairie will narrow.
That's just going to be a natural progression as this county builds out. Less and less are people going to be aware of the boundaries between the cities as much as they are going to be drawn to destinations, and Sun Prairie could definitely be one of them.
Something that the community would also like to see more of in their city.
Madison gets a lot of the business, and I think that Sun Prairie has an awful lot to offer. So
we should definitely bring people in from Madison.
That would be good.
The Planning Commission will be looking at these concepts in January 2020. If it gets approved, it will move on to the City Council where they'll decide with the property owners what the space will look like.
They got a great downtown already. It'll be exciting to see what happens.
Very
Gabby,
cool.
thank you. No officers will be charged in a fatal shooting by police on Madison's west side back in October. That decision the same day as we are seeing this new body camera footage of the incident. Police were called to a home on Raymond Road. This was October 27th. 64-year-old Dean Thomas was armed and shooting at officers when they arrived. Officers say they gave Thomas commands to drop his weapon when he did not comply. One of the responding officers shot him. Thomas died from his injuries. The Dane County DA, Ishmael Ozan, said in a statement today responding to such a threat with deadly force is permitted under the law. The Madison man accused of shooting and killing a Dodgeville man earlier this month is now officially charged with first-degree reckless homicide. That's 20-year-old Marcus Hamilton. He didn't speak in court today, so a not guilty plea was entered on his behalf. According to a criminal complaint, Hamilton was meeting a group to sell them marijuana on Madison's south side. It says he got into a car, tried to rob everyone in it. 18-year-old Gunnar Holum was reportedly in the driver's seat when he was shot. He later died at a hospital. Hamilton's bond was reduced to $250,000. In Milwaukee, the number of homicides this year has surpassed last year's total. As of today, Milwaukee police say the number of homicides this year is 98, 2 of which happened over the weekend. Last year, the final total was 93, down from 118 in 2017. But back in 2016, there were 168 homicides in the city. Well, for decades, snowball fights have actually been illegal in Wausau, but next month the city council will consider decriminalizing it. The city says the law is rarely enforced, but since 1962, a ban on throwing projectiles lumped snowballs into the same category as rocks and other items that can cause serious harm. City council president says that after recent negative national attention on the ordinance, it may be time to take snowballs off the list. Well, around here, we're still waiting for that snow. Let's check your first alert forecast with meteorologist Dana Fulton. We're going to be waiting a while, Dana.
We'll wait a little bit. If you go to Elver Park, you'll find some. I know some of the ski hills also bringing out a little bit of snowfall. Otherwise, you're going to have to travel further north because we have mild weather. Of course, that's very good for travel, whether you're the one who's traveling or folks are traveling to you. Road conditions should be just fine. Temperatures are mild for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. The weekend, though, may bring a few rain chances developing for Saturday and Sunday. Again, road conditions all good to go for Christmas Eve. It'll be cloudy, but it'll be nice and dry outside. Over the next several days, our temperatures will stay in the 40s. It's not until the weekend that we really drop back to the 30s for our afternoon highs, and that's still above average. We'll take a closer look at what's ahead for your Christmas Day, extending through the weekend in just a few minutes.
All right, Dana, thanks. And so it doesn't look so Christmassy outside, but that doesn't mean all holiday activities are on hold. We find Madeline O'Neill at the traditional Olin Park light show off John Nolan Drive, where there's plenty of traffic already. Maddie?
You're right. With the temperatures in the 40s earlier today, it didn't feel very Christmassy out here, but it'd be hard not to get in the holiday spirit with these lights. If you've been around Madison, you know where I am. I'm right off John Nolan Drive. There's plenty of cars coming in already, and today and the next couple days are going to be some of the busiest of the season. The holiday fantasy and lights has been a free tradition here in Madison since 1989. While the coordinator of the electric group, which is behind the display, says this is the first year she can remember when there was snow for setup. It's not unusual to not have snow for Christmas. What is unusual is this warm weather.
I love it. I'm enjoying it. You know, I sent the kids to the park today to play basketball, and we can still enjoy our Christmas lights at night.
Slack says the warmer weather actually encourages more drivers to come see the lights, and traffic in general has increased over the past couple years with an average of 50,000 vehicles coming through a season. In fact, some nights this year already, the line has extended back to the belt line. Now, these lights are on from dusk till dawn until January 4th, so you still got some time after the holidays to come check them out as well.
All right, Maddie, thank you. A Milwaukee County Transit System bus driver who found 2 lost dogs got to meet their owners today. Back on December 18th, driver Jamie Grabowski had just finished her shift when around midnight she saw those 2 dogs. They were out running in and out of the street. Now, the family who lost the dogs, they say they just let the dogs outside, not knowing that a gate had been left open in their yard. Grabowski got the dogs onto the bus, contacted authorities. They were later reunited with their owners. When they were found, by the way, those dogs were 2.5 miles from home. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources will start the new year with a new chief warden. DNR Secretary Preston Cole said today that Captain Casey Kruger will replace retiring Chief Warden Todd Schaller next month. Schaller will retire after more than 30 years of service. Kruger currently leads DNR warden teams working in south central Wisconsin. Dane County Executive Joe Parisi signing a resolution today that adds $500,000 in county funds to help those fighting mental health and addiction issues here in Dane County. The Universal Access Resource Center is expected to open next summer. It'll be a call center that will help connect people with the help they need.
We want folks to know if you are suffering from mental illness or addiction, there is help, this community cares, and we're doing everything we can to come together to make those services available to you.
Now, this initiative is part of the C.J. Tubbs Fund for Hope, Healing, and Recovery, an effort to better serve those battling mental illness and addiction. A local state representative wants to eliminate the sales and use tax on diapers and tampons. News 3 Now's Amy Reed joins us now to explain why a local nonprofit is excited to hear this news, Amy.
The Dane County Diaper Bank has been pushing for a bill like this for almost all of 2019. The National Diaper Bank Network says diapers can cost a family $70 to $80 a month per baby, leaving 1 in 3 families struggling to provide clean diapers for their kids. Some nonprofits step in to help. The Dane County Diaper Bank gives away about 10,000 diapers a month, which is a small fraction of the need. The executive director says these few extra dollars that removing the tax could give can make a big difference in these families' lives.
We think it's really critical to help people save money wherever they can, even if it's pennies on the dollar when they're purchasing diapers. We think that a small change could go a long way for the families that we serve.
This bill would also remove the sales and use tax from tampons, sanitary napkins, and undergarments for incontinence. It has bipartisan support in this early stage, including local rep Melissa Sargent. She's hoping to get more legislators to sign on. Sargent has tried for a similar version of this bill in years prior. Those had cost estimates around $2.4 million to sales tax revenue.
Those costs really do pile up. We'll see where this measure goes. Amy, thank you. Well, the Wisconsin football team set to head out on Christmas Day for Pasadena for the Rose Bowl. Now, they're encouraging fans to get their pictures taken at this wall of roses to show their support. This is located at Hilldale in Madison. They're asking you to take your picture and then send out those fan pictures to their Twitter feed. The Badgers will face the Oregon Ducks in the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day. And we'll have a preview coming your way up a little bit later in sports. Still ahead tonight, a last call for donations as the Salvation Army says it is in desperate need for donations for its Red Kettle campaign, and a longtime tradition for a small town in central Wisconsin, spreading a little Christmas cheer all across the country.
For first, fast, accurate weather updates, watch First Alert Weather.
Beginning of the new year and running until the spring, the Dane County Farmers Market will host its weekly late winter market at the newly renovated Garver Feed Mill. The first market will be January 4th. It'll then continue every Saturday morning and from 8 a.m. until noon through April 4th. Dane County's annual Salvation Army Red Kettle campaign coming up hundreds of thousands of dollars short of its goal. According to a release today, it has raised just $300,000 of its $600,000 goal, 50% shortfall. The final day of the campaign is tomorrow, ending at 8 p.m. At this special time every year, a rural town in central Wisconsin starts getting a lot of attention. The Rudolph, Wisconsin post office receives letters from all over the world just for its special Christmas-themed postmark, a festive claim to fame that's all in the name and what has become a tradition for many. People send their letters to Rudolph just to get them resent from the town, along with some extra flair, the stamps.
We'll remember coming to do it, and we probably get some people that stamp that had done it as children as well. Let's see, I've gotten a couple things came in today, one from Iowa, one from Illinois, one from Missouri, Fort Worth, Texas.
The Rudolph Post Office is still offering those special holiday cancellations through the middle of January. The holidays are supposed to be the happiest time of the year, but for people navigating grief, it can be the most difficult time of the year. Our Leah Linscheid knows that all too well.
1, 2, 3, see.
Leah, you may know, lost her 24-year-old brother Levi in a car crash 2 months ago. She is one of countless others who might struggle to stay merry this holiday season as they work through loss in their lives.
The first thing is just to acknowledge it. Acknowledge the loss. Don't try to sweep it under the rug.
If you or someone you love is grieving a loss, whether it's a divorce, a death of a loved one, we want to help. Leah sharing a conversation with Dr. Shyla Murgain and with her brother as well. It's a very touching and heartfelt story that Leah wants you to see. You won't want to miss it. It's tonight on News 3 Now at 10. Still to come tonight, it's a battle of the top teams in the NFC North. We have a preview of tonight's Monday night matchup between the Packers and the Vikings. But first, our stretch of mild weather will continue There is a chance of some light rain on Christmas Day, but we'll have your full First Alert forecast coming up next.
For reliable weather day in and day out, watch First Alert Weather.
Well, we've kind of been talking about the last several weeks now, or the last several days anyway. Over the last week, we'd be seeing no snow on the ground for Christmas.
And in Madison, you know, we usually have about a 60% chance of seeing snow on the ground. So you're usually going to have a white Christmas, and this year just didn't quite add up for us. Looking at the last 5 Christmas days, it's going back over the last 5 years. Temperature-wise, we are quite a bit above where we've been for the last 5 years, a little close to 2014, where we were at 42 degrees. Low temperatures, though, have been in a much colder spot for the last several years. And, of course, we did have a little bit of snow on the ground last year, trace amounts coming down in 2017, but then some rain in past years, too, with some milder temperatures coming on through. Right now, if you want to see some snow, you're going to have to travel a little further north. Southern Wisconsin is just too warm, but if you head on north, stretching from the Twin Cities to the UP, there's a little bit of snow on the ground right now, a few inches north of Rhinelander. Overnight, we are going to be mostly cloudy. Temperatures just falling through the 30s for overnight lows. We're going to land at about 32 starting off Tuesday. So for Christmas Eve morning, a mostly cloudy sky, and throughout the day, we stay mostly cloudy. The good news, though, it's going to be dry for Christmas Eve. Temperatures in the afternoon will be in the mid to upper 40s with a southern breeze, so very similar to today. Travel conditions for Christmas Eve should be just fine, and if you've been procrastinating at all, your shopping conditions should be okay, though I'm sure everywhere is going to be a little busy tomorrow afternoon. For Christmas morning, a few clouds in the sky, temperatures in the mid to upper 30s for our overnight lows, so we don't drop too much heading into Christmas morning. And then in the afternoon, another day with high temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. So we stay above average. We stay very mild. Good for travel conditions. Not so great for a white Christmas, but if you have outdoor Christmas traditions, that'll be a nice treat to have some milder temperatures. Tonight, our temperatures again dropping only to the low 30s, so really not moving much from where we're at right now. Mostly cloudy sky, mild. Since those temperatures will be close to our dew points and patchy fog will be possible early Christmas Eve. And then for for Christmas Eve during the day. High temperatures close to 47 in Madison. Again, very mild day with that mostly cloudy sky. For Christmas Day, plan on a very similar forecast to Christmas Eve. We're in a little bit of a pattern right now, if you can't tell. Clouds building on in. We stay mostly cloudy. Temperatures will be in the 40s for most of the day, peaking in the mid to upper 40s for those afternoon highs for Christmas Day. And then for after that, Thursday, another big travel day, we're looking at another cloudy sky. This light drizzle that might happen late in the day on Wednesday again shouldn't impact your travel at all, though you may have a few raindrops falling late Wednesday. That rain chance hangs out into Thursday morning, but again, just a drizzle chance for early on Thursday. Temperatures in the mid to upper 40s through the middle of the week. We drop back just a little bit. Those temps in the low 40s on Friday with a variably cloudy sky. And our next chance for a little more rain accumulation will be Saturday. It'll start off with some light snow early in the morning, rain during the day, mixing with a little bit of snow at night before it finally changes over to snow early Sunday morning, since those temperatures will drop into the upper 20s. So traveling over the weekend, the roads will be a little more wet, but still not a lot of accumulation with that rain and even the snow chance, since the ground will be so warm and saturated at that point. Not expecting any of that to stick. Temperatures towards the end of the year, in the middle of next week, will be a little closer to average. We'll be dropping back to the middle 30s. That's a quick look at your forecast.
Well, some last-minute scratches for the Vikings will probably bode well for the Packers tonight. What you need to know ahead of tonight's Packers-Vikings game, that's next in sports. a few things at stake tonight for the Packers besides another win. If Green Bay beats Minnesota, they'll clinch the NFC North for the first time since 2016. And that means they can't be any lower than a 3 seed in the playoffs. And thinking a little further ahead, if they win tonight and beat the Lions next week to close out the regular season, they'll earn a first-round bye and won't be any lower than a 2 seed. But back to tonight, hard not to be optimistic if you're the Packers. The Vikings will be without their top 2 running backs, so the Mike Boone show it is. And meanwhile, everyone on the Packers offense looking healthy, and Dean Lowry, he will play tonight. And having the majority of your players healthy is a huge plus this late in the season.
It definitely gives you a bigger menu to choose from in terms of your preparation and going in with that plan. It kind of leaves everything open. And then you got to make decisions based on what you think is best in order to attack the defense.
And hey, Mike McCarthy could potentially be employed in the NFL again. ESPN's Adam Schefter reporting this afternoon that the Carolina Panthers have interviewed the former Packers head coach for their head coaching job. Now, Ron Rivera was fired at the beginning of December after the Panthers went 5-7 at that point. Now, the Panthers themselves, though, they did not publicly comment about the interview, however. The Badgers getting a few days with their families before they head out to Pasadena on Christmas Day. Now, that includes Jonathan Taylor, who will likely be playing in his last game in a Badgers uniform. And who could blame him? He broke literally every record under the sun this past season, winning back-to-back Doak Walker awards for the best back in the country. But his teammates, they say he'll leave a legacy of humility and hard work at Camp Randall.
Well, he's truly the most humble person that I've ever, came across. If you met him and didn't know him, you wouldn't think he is who he is. Definitely gonna remember what he did on the field. Truly special to witness the greatest college running back ever, firsthand. You worked against him for years. You see the work that he put in the off season. Proud of the type of leader that he's developed into. His work always spoke for itself.
Having an honor to play with him in his last game. I mean, I get to come out of here saying that I got to play with one of the greatest running backs of all time in college football. So, yeah, what's better than that?
And in case you missed it last night, Patrick Mahomes throwing some subtle shade at the Bears. During the second quarter, he threw a touchdown pass to Travis Kelce. And while he's running back, look at that circle there on the left side of your screen. While he's running back to the sideline, he counted to 10 on his hands. Now, if you remember, he was the 10th pick in the NFL draft in 2017. And the Bears actually picked Mitchell Trubisky ahead of him as the number 2 overall pick. The Chiefs having a fabulous season, clinching the division, while the Bears are, well, they're just not.
No.
Yeah. But
they always remember.
I know, they do. But back to tonight, there'll be some streak coming to an end tonight. Aaron Rodgers has not won, or the Packers haven't won at the new U.S. Bank Stadium, and Kirk Cousins never won on Monday Night Football. He's 0-8, so.
Huge matchup tonight.
Yes, indeed.
Playoff ramifications. Final check of the forecast.
We're looking at a cloudy stretch for Christmas, but it at least is going to be mild outside for all the travelers. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 40s for Tuesday and for Christmas Day, Wednesday. That's where we stay for Thursday also. There will be a chance for some drizzle developing late in the day, Christmas Day and early Thursday morning. Friday, a little more sun coming back in, but temperatures will drop back a bit into the low 40s for afternoon highs on Friday. Shower chances on Saturday that'll mix and then change to snow overnight into Sunday morning, though we're really not expecting much accumulation along with that. Heading into next week and New Year's Eve, it'll be a little cooler outside, but still above average, and at least we'll get a little sun back also for next week.
All right, Dana, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6. See you back here tonight at 10. Have a good one.